Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Offsiders Podcast. I am Luca Mocan here again with Massimo DeFranco
Hello, guys.
and Brendan Lang.
What's going on, everyone?
So today we are continuing our playoff episodes, I guess. And
Yeah, because we're thinking we did the teams because there was no content to work off of because the NHL was paused. So now that we have content in the playoffs, we're just gonna keep talking about that.
Yeah, and then we'll probably jump back into the teams when it gets into the off season.
all right, what do we want to start with, gentlemen?
I think we could start talking about the Leafs because I think that's what the majority of our audience likes.
All right.
Yeah, that's what we like too. So
Okay, so last episode, I did call that the Leafs would lose Game 1. And the reason I said that is the same reason that the broadcaster said it, is because watching the video of how Columbus plays and actually playing them, two different things. I think I knew that they needed to actually experience the beating so then they could adapt to it.
yeah,
Because like in Game 1, the biggest thing that I noticed and that like a lot of broadcasters noticed too was they kept the Leafs to the outside so much because there were so many times when like Matthews would get a shot on net or like just the puck would be in front of the net and nobody was there.
Yeah, man. The Leafs made why am I forgetting his name? John Tortorella look like Jack Adams by literally just saying, "Okay, boys, we're just gonna clog up the neutral zone, stand in the neutral zone," and then the Leafs are like, "Oh, well, what do we do now?" Like,
so when I was watching the game today, because obviously Game 2 has just happened, I kind of realized this whole series I think is going to be a game of adjustment. So like Columbus had all this time to study Toronto and figure out how to beat a team who is so offensive. Toronto got shut down in Game 1. They got shut out. Then they come out guns blazing Game 2.
mm-hmm.
And they like Columbus could not get a shot on net for the first 6 minutes of the game. And then they had like 12 shots halfway through the second period.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how it works. Is like Columbus in Game 1, they're looking at what the Leafs do. They know that they're very strong offensively, and they say, "Okay, here's our game plan. Here's how we're going to shut them down." They do that in the first game, and it obviously works out well. And then Toronto sees that. They play in the game. They watch video. They figure out, like you said, they make adjustments, figure out how to beat this. They do that in Game 2. Now the series is tied. Now Columbus is going to have to make a counter punch. They're going to have to come back and adjust to what the Leafs did. So it's definitely a game of adjustments, and I think both coaches are definitely capable of making them.
It's like it's gonna come down to which team can adjust mid-game and win, and like not have to rely on taking an entire game of getting smacked to win.
Yeah, exactly. So going back to Game 1, I was just making some notes as the game went down. So in point form, I have like both sides look good. Matthews' line was the best line by far. Seth Jones on Matthews is a problem. Pierre-Luc Dubois on Matthews is a problem. What, Luca?
Seth Jones played 29 minutes on the ice, just covering Matthews the entire
time. Columbus played a perfect defensive game. Both goalies stood on their head. Leafs offense needs to be way better. Leafs defense needs to stop throwing the puck away like it's a grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just what I took out of Game 1.
Yeah.
None of our defense wanted to take a shot from the point.
Yeah, like, okay, even in today's game, I'm like, okay, you guys have taken 25 shots, nothing's happening. Literally throw it to the point and go for a tip on net. Like, come on.
I mean,
they couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
I just noticed in Game 1 that it looked like Columbus, their forecheck was going to be too much for Toronto. Like, I found, because a lot of the defensemen, like Hall and Muzzin especially, that game, they're not the fastest players, and I think Columbus's forecheck kind of just took them right out of the play, and they made an adjustment to it obviously today and worked out, but that's what I saw in Game 1 too.
Yeah, so like what I noticed is like Columbus had a very dump and chase heavy forecheck play. It's like they don't really carry the puck in much. They're more throw the puck in and we're going to outmuscle you and take the puck away. And then once Toronto realized they couldn't carry the puck into Columbus's zone, they tried to do that. and Columbus just completely shut them down.
Yeah. So did you see what happened in the first 3 minutes of the game today? So what was happening in game 1 was the Leafs couldn't win battles in the corners, so that's what Columbus would do. So what do you do in game 2? You make them scared to go to the corners. How do you do that? You get Kyle Clifford to absolutely destroy
Clifford
you.
made 2 massive hits.
Kyle Clifford realizing his job and actually doing it.
Yeah, about time. You showed Gauthier, this is how you make money.
Yeah, Pierre Engvall is staying in the lineup, and if Frederic Gauthier sees the ice one more time, no.
It will be too soon.
That's also something I wanted to touch on about game 1, is when I saw that Gauthier was playing over Engvall, I was like, what is going on? Like that, I think Engvall's really good, and as much as they talk about like Robertson, you're going to leave Robertson in the lineup from now on, obviously.
Yeah,
I think he's there for good. You're not going to change him out for Gauthier.
I'll be interested. Just go for Langer.
Yeah, and they talk a lot about Robertson's speed. I honestly think that Engvall is just as fast or even faster than Robertson.
We have a lot of fast guys, and they're all spread out throughout our forward group, so that's the best part.
And I would say you could trade out some physicality for speed, but Gauthier doesn't have either, so there's no point in him even playing.
Just to interrupt the Leafs talk, per Chris Johnson, the Rangers are the first team to be eliminated.
Ooh, that's tough. We'll talk about that in the
we'll get to them later.
half.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in the second half. I think Massimo predicted the Rangers to win.
And I'll talk about why.
He'll talk about it. So we'll talk about that. But just that's interesting to see. Rangers done in 3.
Yeah. So I was just watching today's game, and from the first 5 minutes, I'm like, hey, this game is going to be different because they're already showing so much more offense than they did last game, and it's going to take something to beat Korpisalo. I was worried, honestly. You're just taking these muffins on Korpisalo, you're building his confidence.
John Tavares got 6 shots on him in a 3-minute span.
Yeah, I know.
Not 4.
John Tavares reminded me why he's good. Appreciate that.
Well, and for the first 6 minutes of the game, we had 6 shots. They did not get a single shot on Anderson. And at some point, when you don't shoot on a goalie for that amount of time, you almost worry he's gonna get cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. That
he's so busy looking at the other end of the ice that all of a sudden it's, oh my god, they're coming down and they're gonna shoot on me. You almost have to worry about it the other way. It's if a goalie's getting peppered, that's scary. But if a goalie hasn't seen a puck in a couple minutes, that's also pretty scary.
Yeah.
Especially for how long it went in today's game.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Luke were talking before. I think it was some 8 minutes or something that he went without seeing a shot.
Yeah, before they got a shot.
Yeah.
And especially because all their shots were taken at such a sparse rate, so every shot was taken once every 3 minutes.
Their first shots were shorthanded, and they were getting a lot of shorthanded chances. Leafs had 5 power plays today.
Yeah, neither power play worked, so that doesn't really factor now.
Columbus has a terrible power play, but
yeah,
that's a big thing too. If taking 5 penalties and not capitalizing on it, and still to win in the fashion that Toronto did, and knowing that they do have a good power play usually, to win 3-0 without capitalizing on 5 power plays, that's pretty promising for a Leaf fan.
Mm-hmm. And then when they finally got their first goal, it came from an amazing zone entrance by Austin Matthews. Passes it over to Zach Hyman. Hyman is literally left with so much space because Werenski decided to take a path behind the net instead of stopping, getting back to back check. And then Hyman just passes it over to Matthews and he redirects it in on the 28th shot of the game.
Because they carried it in and didn't dump it in and try to outmuscle a bigger team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they know...
They didn't play Columbus's game.
Yeah, exactly. They played their style and how they're played all year, and it worked out there.
Notice how Matthews' goal came when Seth Jones was off the ice.
Yeah,
and Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Seth Jones, can the Leafs get Seth Jones?
With a 28-shot shutout going,
I'd like that.
Yeah. So then that one went in, right? And then the offense just kept coming. Columbus almost scored, honestly. I was getting nervous. I'm like, hey, the Leafs can't defend the lead. This is going to end fast. And then Werenski just...
Toronto almost scored in game 1.
Yeah. True. Korpisalo made crazy.
But yes, I know what you're going to say, Massimo. On that time when, Werenski walked in, tried to do way too much, and then all of a sudden you see John Tavares on a breakaway.
Yeah, Werenski basically passed it to Tavares, if you think about it that way.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I'm like, Tavares, please, this is your 7th shot or 8th shot of the night. Please just score. And he did. And okay, when the first goal went in, I kind of celebrated like they won the cup because I honestly thought they would never score against Corbusalo. Like, this guy has been building his confidence.
He had a 53 save 90-minute shutout.
Bro, his save percentage after Matthews' goal was a .982. But yeah, that's in 2 games, but that's still insane.
It is.
And then Tavares scores. Columbus shows some threatening offense. Leafs take 2 penalties that absolutely scare me.
Both of those did not, like, those were such bad calls.
Spezza touches his shin pad and he falls tripping.
No, Kapanen's was ridiculous. He slaps his stick on the guy's shin pad, and the hand goes up.
And he's like slashing. I'm like, that's not.
Are you kidding me? This is playoff hockey. Like for the entire first period, I watched stuff like get completely overlooked, and I'm like, okay, whatever. It's playoffs. They're gonna let stuff go. And then you call that? Oh, of course, because Columbus is down 2-0.
Yeah, they have to, or even the penalties. That's what always happens.
That's another problem that I find is that stuff like that goes on during the game and they call penalties. But once the whistle's blown, apparently you're just allowed to take shots at each other, and it doesn't matter. Like, once the whistle blows, there's just no penalties, apparently.
Yeah, very rarely do you see a scrum end up in penalties.
Yeah, like I really don't get that. If the play's on and people are like in a shoving match, they're both going to get roughing penalties. Like I really don't understand.
Yeah.
Why it's not a penalty just because the whistle blows. But then you call little cheap stuff like that during the game.
So the Leafs are on the penalty kill. 1 minute, 52 seconds to go. And our best defenseman goes down.
Whoa.
Well, okay, so
our best penalty killing defenseman? Absolutely.
I mean, I think he's our best defensive defenseman. But that could be argued. Anyway, Dubois cross-checks him. He goes into the boards, and then he falls down again, smacking his leg into a Columbus player's leg.
Well, no, it was his head. It wasn't his leg.
Or sorry, his neck.
It was his head. Yeah. Like
no, but it was on a Columbus player's leg.
Yeah. But watching it again, go ahead.
Like it was a friggin' forceful cross-check. He hit him hard.
Yeah.
From behind, and he didn't have the puck.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll be suspended. I don't even think it'll be looked at.
So dirty. I hope Kyle Clifford breaks his face.
No, the best way to get your vengeance is on the scoreboard, man. Just eliminate them.
The best way to get your vengeance is to send your grinder out there and absolutely pummel him. This is hockey, man. He's hitting in the game for a reason.
I'm going to agree with that one. Just
take
the teeth out.
I want to know something. If Kyle Clifford plays like that way more consistently, would you want to keep him for $2 million for let's say 3 years?
Sure. Well, maybe not 3 years, but yeah, for the next year, sure.
Because that's his asking price.
That's the kind of guy we need on this team.
But do you want to spend $2 million on a guy like that? I love him. I love what he brings, but
if we're spending $7 million on another player that shall not be named, I think we can spend $2 million.
And if we're spending the money on Jake Muzzin, who's supposed to be a big physical presence and doesn't touch anyone, then yeah, sure.
Well, no, he definitely hit some guys today.
3 big shots today.
Yeah,
3 big shots.
Another thing I wanted to introduce to you guys. What do you think of we name a player of the game per game for the Leafs?
Sure.
Like who we think was the best player on the Leafs.
I mean, we could do 3 stars.
Can we do the 3 stars for game 1? Okay, yeah, we'll do 3 stars.
Okay.
Do you guys remember game 1 well enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Corbusalo was the first star.
Well, I mean, I thought it was just going to be Leaf players, but yeah, we can do that too.
How can you do that on a shutout?
Yeah, okay. Because I guess Luca wants to go first. Luca, give us your 3 stars.
Corbusalo is the first star. I'd say Zach Werenski is the second star. And Austin Matthews, because he probably generated the most offense for Toronto.
Yep. Okay, Brendan?
Game 1, Korpisalo is the first star. I'll give Seth Jones, number 2, and Pierre-Luc Dubois, number 3.
Okay. My first star is going to be Korpisalo. Second star will be Freddie. And my third star will be Austin Matthews.
So you're not giving a start at anybody else on Columbus who actually scored a goal? You'd rather give it to a guy who got like 6 shots?
Well, I mean, who scored the... Sure, we'll give it to Cam Atkinson instead of Matthews. There you go. So it'll be Korpisalo, Freddie, and Atkinson. And then game 2, Luka.
Okay. First star, Frederik Andersen. Second star, John Tavares. Third star, Korpisalo.
Brendan?
I'll say third star, Korpisalo. Second star, Austin Matthews. And first star, John Tavares.
Third
Doesn't
star.
give a shout out a star? Wow.
Hey, you didn't give Freddie a star?
Nah,
Yeah, you got
20
a shout out.
saves. Yeah.
Fair enough. It was a 20-save shutout.
Yeah. Third star, I'm going to go with Freddie. Second star, I'm going to go with Austin. So first star, I'm going to go with Tavares.
JT.
Yeah.
The captain.
I'm just rewatching this Muzzin play. I just wanted to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, the cross-check is dirty, but, like, it's not the principal point of injury, and it's not suspension-worthy.
No.
It's not, but it's what caused him to fall.
To me, that's a 2-minute cross-checking penalty.
Yeah, that's a penalty, but they don't call that.
It's definitely a penalty, but I mean, it's not like he didn't cross-check him from behind into the boards. Like, that kind of stuff goes on more often than you'd think. Like,
Yeah,
like if Dubois cross-checks him and he goes headfirst into the boards, yeah, okay, then
That's
there's a boarding call, then it's a suspension.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you call it cross-checking, you can call it interference. He didn't have the puck, but I don't think it's a suspendable act.
It's just like another thing with me with hockey, and I think with some other sports too that I kind of find dumb, is like once there's a missed call, you can't go back and make one. Like once Muzzin was down, and then you go back and check the replay and go, oh man, that's a cross-check from behind without the puck. At least a 2-minute cross-checking. Like, I don't know why you can't go back and say, hey, like, why can't you just call a penalty? Like,
I feel like that would cause more reviews and more stoppage of a play.
Yeah, make the games longer.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't think that they're ever going to explore the option of going back to call a penalty because hey, it's a live game. You miss it, you miss it.
Yeah, like I like the challenges that they brought into the NHL. I think they're fine. But I don't think you go any more than what they have. Like offsides, that's fine if you want to challenge those. And
yeah, it's like so the offside challenge was made it was brought into the game because of the Matthew Shane situation, not for if it's like a millimeter and you can't tell.
Yeah, true.
That's what it's getting to right now.
Yeah, that is true. But you could I don't know. I'd kind of like to see. Not saying this will ever happen or that it should happen, but I'd kind of like to see today you're talking about Kapanen's penalty. If you could challenge that, and then they can look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's not a penalty.
Yeah. So I think that's all for the game 1 and 2. Before we jump into trivia, I'm going to attempt. Well, I'm not going to attempt because I can't change Luca's mind, but I'm just going to shed some light on why I think expecting a point per game from Nylander is a bit unfair.
So if you listeners haven't noticed yet, Massimo's a big fan of William Nylander. Luca is not a fan of William Nylander. And you guys, those two usually have some arguments about what Nylander's worth is and what you should expect from him. So here's another one. You guys who've been listening for a while definitely know this about us.
So Nylander makes 6.962. You can make it. You can call it 7 if you want. I don't really care.
Sure.
And he's, in my opinion, you should expect a 60 to 70 points from him. And anything else, anything you get more is just a bonus.
Okay. But I'm not talking about regular season anymore.
Okay. I'm basing this off regular season.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. So the players I'm about to list, they all make more than him. So Nylander is under all these players contract wise. Okay.
Mhm.
Clayton Keller, $7.1 million for the next 8 years, 44 points, 70 games. Joe Pavelski, Dallas Stars, $7 million until 2023. His last season, he put up 64 points, and this season, he only put up 31.
He's Joe
Okay.
Pavelski.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
I know.
Keep going. I
He's
just
hard
want
to
And
to.
that contract was signed before 2019, so we can ignore that one if you want.
Yeah, Joe. I was just about
Um,
to say. I'm about to look at Joe Pavelski's points. I mean, yeah, he still goes along with what you're saying, though.
Yeah,
If you're
Anders
trying to
Lee.
make that point, then
Yeah,
his numbers good.
Anders Lee, $7 million until 2025, 2026, puts up 43 points in 68 games. Kevin Hayes of the Flyers, $7.1 million for the next 7 years, 41 points in 69 games. Jamie Benn, $9.5 million and hasn't put up a point per game season since 2015.
Okay.
And then,
Okay, that's all good, and I understand where you're coming from. I'm just gonna make a quick point, then I can turn this over to Luca. You can say what you'd like, but I think just looking at points is an unfair thing to do. I don't think
well, no,
the
yeah, it is, but we're talking about if we should expect a point per game from him.
okay, maybe. I'm just saying the contract wise, those other guys. I mean, other than putting up points, I'm not sure what Nylander gives you a lot of.
Well, he's on your power play.
Okay, but
What does he
that's
do on the
fine.
power play that Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and John Tavares can't?
Well, no, but if you put him on another team who doesn't have those guys,
Okay,
That's
but
fine.
we're
I'm just saying for
not
this
talking about
team,
putting him on another team.
he's a little redundant, is what I'm
Okay,
trying to say.
can I
and
go?
then well, hang on, and then yeah, so all those guys make somewhere between 7 to 9.
Yeah.
And you look at Marner, who's getting paid 10
Uh-huh.
and not 6.9. He's expected to put up a point per game, and that's what you get. Panarin, 10 million, 95 points. That's what you get for 10 million, not 7.
Okay.
Now you can go.
Okay. You want to compare contracts. William Nylander's current cap hit is 6.9. David Pastrnak.
Yes, I know you're going to bring this up. That's an
6.6.
that's
Kyle
an outlier
Connor.
of a contract.
Kyle Connor, 7.1. Johnny Gaudreau, 6.7. Jake Gensel, 6. Vladimir Tarasenko, 7.5. Like, that's not that much more. In the grand scheme of things, that's not that much more. Mark Stone, 7.3. Panarin right now is getting 6.
Okay, but all those players you mentioned are like the number one player on their team.
Yeah, and he's getting paid like a number one player on the team,
But
he's not putting up number one player on the team numbers.
Would you pay your number one player $7 million?
If they took it, hell yeah, I would.
Well, no,
Okay,
but Massimo, you just said that the guys you named are number one players on their team, and they're getting paid $7 million. So
no, I didn't say they're number one players. I just said they're players.
Jamie Benn is the number one player on Dallas.
Anders Lee is not.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when Luca just named those guys, you said those are the number one players on their team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jake Gensel's not the number one player on his team.
Well, Jake Gensel also plays with Sidney Crosby.
Well,
It's not that hard to put up more than a point per game when you play with Sidney Crosby.
William Nylander plays with Austin Matthews and John Tavares. No excuse. No excuse.
Mitch Marner, too, if you want to talk about putting up points, like, I mean, you're going to get a lot of good passes from him.
Okay, well, I just want to bring that up, but I knew I wouldn't change your mind.
Oh, you didn't change Brendan's either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think the Leafs have so many guys that
don't need him.
Skate fast and put up a good number of points that Nylander could be moved for somebody who does something different, brings something else to the table. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but then you sacrifice your depth.
One guy does not make that.
Luca, who's your right wing? You got Mitch Marner, then who?
You know how many other guys we have on the team?
Not as good as Nylander.
Okay, offense has never been a problem for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I don't think losing William Nylander is going to change that much.
Yeah,
I I really do not think it will.
Well,
If
when that
anything,
happens,
it gives more opportunities for the other guys on our team that are getting paid these big-ass numbers to prove their contracts.
like who?
John Tavares, Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews.
But they're not the same position as Nylander.
Yes.
Marner's the same position, and Marner is
Okay.
taking the number one winger spot.
We don't have to compare specific positions, dude. I'm just saying, it's like you want to talk about Marner compared to points. It's like, okay, the whole reason Marner got the giant-ass contract that he did is because he was on a line with John Tavares, who got 49 goals that year, and Marner got like 96 points.
4. But yeah.
Oh, shit, sorry. Like William Nylander held out, and he went to go play in Sweden, and he practiced in Sweden, and there was this big story for him to get this contract and then come back, and he got like 20-something points. Like, he acted like he was all that, came back, and didn't do it.
That one's a little unfair as well, because it doesn't matter practicing playing in Sweden. You're not playing against NHL.
The same thing would happen with any player. You miss half the season. You miss half the season.
Some players might come back and be good, but Nylander, that one's a little unfair to say, oh, he only came back and put up 20 points.
Like, we don't need him. We could use the cap space on other people. Defensemen.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you on that. I think he's a redundant player. We already have guys that do the same thing as Nylander, except better than him. So I don't think he's necessary on this roster.
I mean, if you get rid of him, your top 6, you move like Kapanen into your top 6, and he's proof you can't.
I fucking love Kapanen. He's
Yeah, but
great.
he struggles when he goes into the top 6. That's why he's on the third line.
Well, okay, that's fine, but then you go out and get somebody who, I don't know, maybe.
And then what are you going to pay him?
William Nylander's contract.
No, pay him.
Then
You pay him less than William Nylander's contract, then you can get a defenseman out of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Let's
Whatever.
just get a Vander Kane. I'll be happy. Give me a Vander Kane and his. Hold on 1 second. Give me a Vander Kane and his 153 penalty minutes, and I will be happy.
Nylander for Tom Wilson, 1 for 1.
Sure, 100%. Not
Say
even
less.
Not even close. Like, of course,
Yeah, I think that's a rip-off for Toronto, but yeah.
yeah, that is a complete rip-off. And Washington.
What are you talking about, Massimo? You know how much forward depth they would have? Oh, the right wingers on the team. Oh my goodness. Washington would flourish with William Nylander.
Washington would never make
Nylander would become their best right winger.
Yeah, he honestly would. But Washington would never make it.
He was not better than TJ Oshie.
TJ Oshie's a left winger.
He can play right wing. Like wingers can play either side. Pretty much any winger can.
Well, yeah, you could say that, but then when you put it into practice, they struggle. That's why they play their side.
Okay, everybody has a preferred side.
Anyway, let's jump into some trivia, Brendan.
Let's do it. Let's hop into some basketball trivia. We're bringing it back. Diagnosis. Okay, same trivia, same rules. This is the second last one. We're gonna have one more. Then we're jumping into NFL trivia hosted by Luca Mocan. Me and Massimo will be doing it. And then after, I think we're gonna go to baseball. And then we might get another sport in there, or we will go back to hockey. Not 100% sure yet.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the trivia today. Same rules as last time. You can answer before the biography's over. No handicap for Massimo after he won the first week. Yeah. Okay. Let's get after it. First player is from Slovenia and played professionally there until drafted to the NBA with the 3rd overall pick by the Atlanta Hawks.
Luka Doncic.
Good.
Correct.
Traded for Trae Young to the Dallas Mavericks. He then went on to win Rookie of the Year in 2019. And just something to throw in there, today he became the youngest player ever to get a 30-point, 20 rebound, 10 assist triple-double. He's going to be the face of the NBA for years to come. Him and Giannis are going to run that thing. Anyways, back to the trivia. This player went to Louisiana State University, started his career in 1992 with the Orlando Magic. He has 4 NBA championships under his belt and is a 15-time All-Star. He's also in the conversation for best center of all time.
Naz Reid.
Go.
What did you say, Massimo?
Go.
Naz Reid.
Who did you say, Luke?
I said Shaq.
Okay, who did you say, Massimo?
Naz Reid.
Who the hell is Naz Reid?
I remember his name from somewhere.
Okay.
Anyways, Shaquille O'Neal is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Naz Reid?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I don't know why, but his name just popped in my head, and I just said it.
How much basketball research did you
Naz
do?
Reid. Yo, this guy actually exists.
Nazrian Hilton Reid.
Fire my guy.
Professional basketball player for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Naz Reid is 20 years old. How do you know this guy? I don't even know him. He
He
did go
played
to
on
L-
LSU.
Oh,
Like,
he did go to LSU.
I told you. He just
That's
popped
so
in my
funny.
head.
That's so
That's
funny.
crazy. Okay.
It must have been like watching TV or something. He popped on.
Oh, he's only 20 too. Wow. Okay. Next player. He is from the Republic of Congo in Africa. Started his career with the Oklahoma City Thunder, where he made an NBA Finals appearance, and is known for his cooking skills.
Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka is correct.
Okay, well, I think that's over then.
Massimo, who did you say?
I said Bismack Biyombo.
Okay, that's not a bad guess. Bismack Biyombo is from
Yeah, I
the
remember
Congo.
that.
So then why did you say that after cooking video?
No, I just heard Congo and I said Bismack Biyombo. I'm trying to get the edge on you.
Okay.
I'm going for the sweep.
You did
Okay.
get the sweep.
Oh, we got it. There's 2 more. Let's see if he can sweep 5. Okay. This player also started his career in Oklahoma City and was the last star to remain on that team after the departures of Kevin
Russell
Durant.
Westbrook.
Okay.
I think.
Yes, Russell Westbrook is correct.
This is a great time.
Okay.
After. Yeah.
Last one. He played with the Toronto Raptors in the 2014-15 season and is from Memphis, Tennessee. He usually comes off the bench and has won 6th Man of the Year award 3 times in his career.
Lou Williams.
Lewis Williams. Got it again.
I was gonna say Andrea Bargnani, but that was way past 2014.
He also wasn't a 6th man.
He's also putrid at the game of basketball. At the time, he was a big deal, though. He was a 7-footer who could shoot threes, but now every 7-footer shoots threes.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he's an exception, but I mean, like Marcus.
What about Kristaps Porzingis, Brent?
Jokic and Kristaps Porzingis, exactly.
The Joker.
You know what? I'm just happy that I actually won a game or won a round.
You did. No, you did. Okay, so yeah, next week will be the last basketball one, and then I'm excited for football.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting because
Maybe.
I'd say I probably know more than Massimo, but I don't know a ton. So.
I know absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna have to
I feel like I
You
know
didn't know
a
anything
little
about. You didn't know anything about basketball, and you did that.
Yeah, I studied. I'm gonna have to study again.
Well,
Good.
This is the most I studied since like grade 11.
Yeah, because you didn't have any exam.
oh man.
I don't
Okay.
even study for exams. Okay,
Okay, let's hop back into this. We're gonna jump into all the other.
we're gonna go day 1. The Canes win game 1. I watched this game. This was just Carolina dominating straight from the get-go. Absolutely destroyed the Rangers, but they won 3-2. So that happened.
Right.
So the Rangers are eliminated. I'm gonna justify why I picked them.
Game 2 and Game 3, Massimo. I was on the edge of my seat.
It's okay.
We already said that they got eliminated.
We can just go series by series here.
Yeah, so for the Carolina Hurricanes, the Rangers, I knew Carolina was the better team all round.
Yep.
But I was thinking offensive teams would have an advantage, and I was thinking the Rangers' offense would show up as well as they did in the regular season. And I was also thinking Shetserkin would play all games. None of those things happened. Carolina just dominated.
Okay,
making me look like a fool.
the Rangers offense didn't even show up that much. They came 11th.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if you can necessarily say the Rangers offense showed up like a lot of
Okay, well, more like Panarin and Zibanejad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but
I see.
you shut those two guys down, and you cut the Rangers at the knees. They got
Especially with
nothing left.
especially with Carolina's defense, which we talked about in the pre-playoff shows.
They're
They got,
so
like,
stacked.
That's detours.
Exactly.
They have Dougie Hamilton and Brett Pesce out, and it doesn't matter.
Oh, they're actually so stacked.
I think Jacob Slavin is the most underrated player in the league. He's
All right,
so good
well.
defensively.
You can have
So,
a
yeah.
lot talking about Slavin. So
Canes win game 1. Canes win game 1 3-2, and then they win game 2, and then they win game 3. So the Rangers are out. No one had Canes sweeping the Rangers on this podcast, but
I had 4. I had Canes in 4.
We both had Canes in 4.
They both had the Canes. Moving on, the next game after that was the Edmonton Oilers versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Wow, did we not give the Chicago Blackhawks enough credit?
Yeah, we did not at all.
I don't remember what our predictions were.
We all had the Oilers.
I don't know. I know we all had Edmonton, but I don't know what the game's predictions were.
I'm gonna say 4. I think we all gave Chicago a goal or
I
another goal game.
Because I can see that. Like if I didn't say 4, I don't know why I didn't. Like,
well, we could still be right.
oh yeah, no, I still think Edmonton wins it 4. I think Chicago took game 1 because I don't know, Edmonton young guys might have some nerves going into that one. Chicago doesn't. They've been there so many times.
Game 2, man, McDavid came to play.
Sure did.
He was pissed.
Yeah.
And then game 3 is yet to happen. So the series is tied up at 1. In game 1, Dominik Kubalik had 5 points on the night.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a star for Chicago unless they trade him. They literally got Panarin again in Kubalik. So let's see if they trade Prasad again.
I think someone on Chicago got suspended, I want to say.
Drake Caggiula.
Yes, that's right.
For a hit to the head.
That's a big blood to the depth.
Not really.
Sarcasm.
Okay, so that series is tied up at 1s.
1s, yep. And then next you got the Panthers versus the Islanders. Bobrovsky did not show up. This series is pretty much over. Islanders won both game 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Panthers would be the next team out because Bobrovsky is just, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Islanders. I like their defense again. I think we talked a lot about that. On paper, again, Florida's offense during the season came out to show more than what the Islanders offense did during the year, but this restart is like a completely different year. And on paper, when you look at it, the guys that Islanders have probably are better than the bulk of the forwards for the Panthers. And yeah, I would think the Panthers would be the next team out as well.
Yeah, the Islanders just play such a solid defensive system. It's boring to watch, but man, is it effective.
I had Panthers in 5. The series is not over yet.
I'm also a big fan of Barry Trotz. I think he's a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
Luka, 1 in 57 times does a team win 3 straight.
That's great.
So this could be
the
one.
There's a chance, Massimo.
There's a chance, yeah.
There's a chance.
I mean, Florida's offense definitely is there. They just need saves out of Bobrovsky.
That's right. Bobrovsky needs to step up.
He needs to show that he could still win a Vezina, but I don't know why. Ever since he left Columbus, he's not the same.
See, the thing with Bobrovsky, and I don't know why this is a thing, but if you look at his track record, he has an alternating season. So last season he was good. This season he's bad. Next season he's going to win the Vezina. He's always on and off and on and off, and usually it alternates with Pekka.
I will hold you to that.
That's the second boldest prediction we've had on this podcast.
Well, think about it. Last season he was good, right?
I don't remember.
Yes, he was very good.
See how he performs next season.
So what was the boldest one, Brendan?
Sheldon keeps slapping all of his players.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to wake these friggin' Toronto Maple Leafs up. I don't care if they hired a fan to walk into that bubble wearing a hazmat suit to slap all these players in the face.
No, you know what they should do? They should hire a guy to follow around Gauthier and just piss him off if he's gonna make the lineup. Just piss him off so he plays mad.
Or if you give him COVID, so he leaves.
Like if he gets a coffee, drop it, spill it on his nice suit.
He would beat you up
No, he wouldn't. He's a big teddy bear.
on the ice.
No, I love that job. I just screw around with Gauthier.
Yeah. Just when his
fight me for it. Okay, fight me.
Yeah.
do something about it.
but then if he did fight you, oh no.
6'3".
Okay, next series.
You got the Habs and the Pens. The Habs won game 1 because Carey Price did what he was supposed to.
So, I think me and Masmo had Penguins in 3, I want to say.
I think did we? Yeah, I think we all had a sweep, didn't we?
Oh,
I had Pens in 4.
He did, and he said, I think Carey Price will steal a game for the Canadians. So, we'll give you that one. That's a good job. It's tied 1-1 now, I believe.
I'm not just a pretty face, guys. I know my hockey stuff.
Well, I mean, no one knows your face from the podcast, so
I have a face for radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a voice for television.
Yeah, so I think the series is 1-1 right now.
Game 1, Price stood on his head. The Habs won in overtime.
Petrie scored a nice game winner.
Game 2, Pens came. Game 2 is basically Carey Price versus the Penguins, and then the Penguins won because Carey Price can't score.
Come on, Price.
Sorry, just to backpedal here, Massimo. Shesterkin did play for the Rangers today.
Today, yeah, he did.
You're saying all games.
I said all games, yeah.
I don't think it would have been.
And he also had a muscle tweak, so he probably wasn't playing at the best of his capabilities. So, yeah.
I don't want to hear it. Fight through it.
Okay. That one's pretty straightforward. I'm still thinking Penguins in 4.
Yeah.
Like Carey Price he's Carey Price. He's going to have great games.
I'm rooting for the Habs to win this series.
Yeah, sure.
Why?
For 2 reasons. 1, so they don't get Lafreniere. 2, so Pittsburgh gets Lafreniere.
What?
Why do you want Pittsburgh to do that? Toronto will never make it out of the East.
No, because then it's the Metropolitans division problem.
Yeah, but
we still have to play them.
Yeah, we gotta get to the Eastern Conference Final to do that.
Well, Penguins are going to win the Cup for the next 7 years if that happens.
They're going to do it if it doesn't happen.
That'd be great. That'd just be great.
Would not. Anyways, okay, moving on.
Then you got the Flames and the Jets.
Yeah, this one's a good one.
So
that started off tragically.
Flames won game 1, 4-1. Before we get into that, did you guys see the injury?
Yes.
Do you think there was malicious intent from Matthew Tkachuk?
No. I do not like him, but no.
Yes, thank you. Everyone who's targeting Tkachuk is saying, yeah, maybe it was an accident, but it's a player like that who would have an accident, and you could like how many accidents does Tkachuk have?
Paul Maurice, I understand. I think you guys saw the interview.
Yeah,
I think he was over the line for that one.
I understand where he's coming from. Of course, you're going to defend your own player. Like I don't hold anything over Paul Maurice for saying what he did. I don't agree with what he said.
I don't think he had to attack Tkachuk.
Well, I mean, like you're just mad that
you're mad you lost Scheifele.
Player. Well, yeah, like your best player, one of your veteran players, got taken out by a pretty notorious guy for being dirty around the league. So, right off the bat, you'd kind of have you'd have a grounds to accuse him.
Yeah, so let's be real. Say that happened to Matthews and it was Brad Marchand who did that. We would all attack him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And another noted thing that happened, they lost Laine that game too.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't think Winnipeg wins another game.
Well, you say that, they go on to win game 2.
Win game 2, and then Calgary comes back, wins game 3. The only way Winnipeg wins the series is if Hellebuck is the best goalie on the planet.
He's been pretty good, but I think he has to be better.
He does.
Calgary's offense.
He led in 6 today.
Yeah, Calgary's offense is actually finally showing up in the playoffs.
If you let Milan Lucic score, you're not winning the series.
Okay.
Then we got the Coyotes and the Predators.
Yep.
Coyotes win game 1, and then the Preds take game 2, so it's all tied up. Game 1 was just Kemper being an absolute wall, and Nashville couldn't get their offense going. And then the exact opposite happened Game 2. They got their offense going, and Kemper wasn't having a good game.
Actually, that was a pretty close series. Both those games were pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good series. After the first game, I really liked how Arizona looked, what their offense looked like.
Yeah. I like not Kevin Fiala. I like Taylor Hall. He's looked in way better than he did in the regular season.
Mm-hmm. I had Nashville sweeping. This was the only sweep that I had just because I was a big Nashville Predators fan. But I gotta say, Arizona's really making me eat my words.
I think you're a Nashville's Predators fan, but I think you're a blind Predators fan. I don't think you knew what you were getting into by saying they're going to sweep the Predators. Or not the Predators, the Coyotes. Because in order for them to sweep the Coyotes, they need to put their offense together every single night.
Yes, that's how sweep works.
Okay, moving on.
The next game that happened was just a round-robin game. The Flyers beat the Bruins. Bruins didn't have Rask, and the Flyers just looked really good. Pretty much that's all that happened.
Same thing with the next game, St. Louis, Colorado. Just another qualifying game. Kadri, my boy, game winner.
Close game, and then imagine losing the game with 0.1 seconds left, man. I'd be pissed.
Tomorrow, they have a lot of crazy games.
I just want to say, the seeding so far is exactly how I predicted it.
It's been
so far.
It's been like 2 games
played. I know. I just want to say it's exactly how I predicted it.
Okay, we'll give that one to you. Next game. This one's a series: Minnesota and Vancouver.
Yeah. So I went Vancouver. Kind of regretting it now.
I went Minnesota.
Minnesota, man.
Actually, I had to win 5.
I told you the X factor that would happen. It's Kevin Fiala, and Jesus Christ, is he dangerous offensively?
Yeah.
Also, Stalock, pretty good goalie.
Stalock was very good.
Yeah.
And it's 1-1 right now, I think, in game.
No, it's 1-0.
2? No, it's 1-1.
Oh, in the games, yeah, not in the series.
Yeah. In the game right now, it's 1-1. First period.
Kevin Fiala score?
Let's check. Nope.
All right.
Luke Kunin.
Yeah.
And Tanner Pearson scored for Vancouver.
I think that series might come down to game 5. It depends. If Vancouver wins tonight, it goes down to game 5. Because it's just like what I see. This is basically the Columbus-Toronto series.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. And as Lucas said, it's a game of adjusting now.
That's right. Okay.
Was that all the series?
That is.
Well, then day 3, you had the Tampa Bay beat the Caps in a shootout in the playoffs, so that was kind of weird, but it happened. And then the Golden Knights beat the Stars. So right now the top 2 in the East are the Flyers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then the top 2 in the West are the Avs and the Knights.
Well, I had the East backwards.
And then in tomorrow's seeding games, you have Boston and Tampa Bay, as well as Colorado and Dallas. So,
there are a lot of huge games going on tomorrow. You got Pens Canadians, Oilers Blackhawks, Islanders Panthers. So you could see a sweeper, you could see a comeback there, and then Preds Coyotes.
And then the round robin games. So
for me, the most exciting series to watch right now is the Oilers and the Blackhawks. Just because of how high offensive it is.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about how those two teams are like on the opposite end of the spectrum of each other. Like one team was good for so long, and now they're on the down, and then one team has been bad for so long, and now they're on the up. So it's pretty cool that they're kind of meeting in the middle there.
Do you want to, based off of like what's happened so far, do you want to predict what happens tomorrow? Just for like series wise. So do you think the Islanders beat the Panthers tomorrow?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that quickly and then sign off.
I think Florida takes the game.
I think the Islanders finish the series with a thump, maybe like a 3-0, 4-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Islanders sweeping as well.
Bold statement.
Then you got the
Bobrovsky needs to play so much better than.
Bobrovsky needs to play like Carey Price is right now, and Korpisalo and Freddie Anderson.
Sure.
Then you got the Predators and the Coyotes. I think the Coyotes take that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Coyotes as well.
I'm gonna stick with the Preds.
Yeah. Then you got Lightning Bruins.
I'm
gonna say Boston. I'm gonna say Boston takes this one.
I'm going to say Lightning. I don't think Boston wins a game.
He'll be back.
I don't think he is back. I think we would have had a notification. Actually, we'll get a notification tomorrow.
If they learn how to win without Rask and then get him back, that is going to be scary.
Okay.
And the good thing with having your starting goalie out right now is they're in a spot where it doesn't really matter if you have him or not.
True.
Yeah,
if they were
wait until round 1 to get him.
Yeah, if they were in a play-in series and didn't have him, it'd be a problem.
It'd be a little scary, but it's worst case scenario, they play the winner of Penguins Canadiens.
Yeah. And that's And then you got the Avs and the Stars. I'm gonna give that one to the Avs.
Yeah, I'll say Colorado.
Colorado's unstoppable.
Yeah. And then Pens and Habs.
Gotta go Pens.
I'm gonna give it to the Habs.
Oh, Massimo.
I'm gonna give it to the Habs. That's partly because I want it to happen.
Get out of town.
I don't know why you want Lafreniere to go to the Penguins, but anyways.
I just think it'd be so okay. But imagine the playoffs without the Penguins in it, though. That'd be great.
Not really.
Yeah, but then they're going to be in the playoffs for the next 7 years.
Well, no, there's not a guaranteed chance to get Lafreniere. The Rangers could get Lafreniere.
Well, okay, I'm gonna.
Well, if you're going by that logic, then Canadians can have the first pick. It's not a guaranteed chance they get Lafreniere then.
Well, if they beat the Penguins, they're not in the lottery.
Whatever.
What were you gonna say, Brendan?
I'm just gonna say I know Montreal, Leaf fans supposed to hate Montreal. No matter what, I always am gonna cheer for a Canadian team in the playoffs. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, same. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
Same way I'm rooting for the Oilers and I'm rooting for the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, last game of the night tomorrow, 10:30, Oilers versus the Hawks.
Yep, I'm gonna go Edmonton. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Seeing
Oilers.
what McDavid did, I think it's over.
I think that the majority of the series, the team who you didn't expect to win the series won the first game, and then the other team is going to adjust and just take over.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're going to see.
Speaking on that, how do you guys seeing the rest of the Leafs series? How do you guys see that playing out?
Based off our predictions, you want to just go off go away from our predictions?
Whatever you think is going to happen these next 3 games or 2 games, whatever you think.
I'm going to say we win the next 2 and then, or no, we win the next 2. We win the next 1 and then Columbus wins the next 1 and then we win game 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say we win Thursday, we lose the back-to-back, and then we win the next game.
I'm going to go Leafs in 5. I had Leafs in 4 before, but I think Columbus takes another game.
Especially without Muzzin, man, it's going to be hard.
I'm going to stick with my Leafs in 4 just because I don't think Columbus will be able to adjust to how Toronto played today because I don't know what they can do to really stop what happened today. And it even showed if Korpisalo plays out of his mind, it still doesn't matter. So I'm gonna stick with Toronto does not lose another game.
I think the Leafs are just gonna shoot themselves in the foot because they lost a penalty killer in Muzzin, and if they keep taking penalties, then you're now forcing Dermott to kill penalties, and he cannot do that. So
right,
it's a Leaf thing to do. So
to be fair, we don't know how long Muzzin's gone.
Yeah,
we also don't know who will draw in. It could be Marincin.
No, they have to bring Sandin in.
Yeah, okay, that's what we're going to discuss. I don't understand why Sandin's not in the lineup.
Who has more playoff experience?
I don't care. Marincin is terrible.
Marincin over Sandin. I mean, it doesn't matter. Marinchin's not even an NHL caliber player, so
not even an OHL caliber.
Just watch. They go with Marincin, man. Watch.
I'm sure they will. I don't doubt they will go with Marincin, but I'm just saying Marincin is one of the worst defensemen in the NHL.
So. They'll go with Marincin and then do the same thing they did with Frederic Gauthier. They'll change him for Sandin second game.
Yeah. And then lastly, before we wrap, What did you guys think of Nick Robertson for these first 2 games?
Like I'm pleasantly surprised.
Me too. I like the
He
way he
was-
moves without the puck. That's one thing I noticed. He's
Yeah.
fast, but it's not. He doesn't like. He really moves without the puck. He looks to get into open areas. I really like it.
One
And,
thing that go for it.
like he was getting roughed around the entire game today. He was
Yeah.
just taking. Like he
Yeah.
knows that
Like,
this is how it's gonna be, especially when you're younger. You're gonna
Yeah,
get
like
pushed.
one thing that I've noticed is he's not afraid to throw a hit. He's not afraid to go attack a player in the corner. Like he goes in there like kind of like a young Zach Hyman would. Well, Zach Hyman would do it now, but yeah, just a younger, like less scrawny.
I like the way he plays.
Do you think he'll be on the roster next season?
Yes.
I hope so.
Well, he hasn't played a game for the Marlies yet, so
I don't think.
I don't know. I don't think we've had a prospect just jump straight from junior into the NHL.
Well, Matthews definitely did not play in the minors.
Yeah, that's true.
Marner
we
didn't
had,
play
we
with
had
the
Carter Ashton.
Marner didn't play with the Marlies.
Yeah.
Nylander didn't play with the Marlies.
Yes, he did.
Did he? Okay, that's actually true because he's from Europe. When you're from North America, you can't play in the AHL till you're 20. But when you come from Europe, you can play before you're 20. So
I did not know that.
yeah, Robertson's gonna have to be 20 years old to play in the AHL.
He's 19. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be 19 next season. He's still 18. He's our age.
He'd have to go back to the OHL if he's gonna.
Yeah.
He's gonna play, and I don't think there's a point in sending him back to the OHL when he put up the numbers he did this year. It's just not going to be good for his development.
All right. I think that about does it.
Yep.
We thank you again for all of your support. We recently gained a ton of following. Let us know who your favorite NHL team is, so we can kind of figure out what we should talk about, which teams we should talk about more.
For sure. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for the guys who've been here for a long time, for everyone. Thanks for the continued support and everyone new here. Thanks for coming along.
And we're going to keep doing this until the Leafs are out or until the playoffs are done.
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
See you guys later.
Have a good one, everyone.